If you have some Palo Santo, grab it now. Now, you may be wondering why I'm dressed like this. Let's have a little chat. Now, I don't know about you, but this time of year, so it's October, November, what are we? We're in November. And it's grey, it's dull. And I do find it a struggle to be motivated, to be energized this time of year. And as someone who's struggled for years, since the age of 11, 12, with their mental health, you know, I know how easy it is to get sucked into a state you just don't feel like doing anything. The less you do, the less energy you have. And when it comes to practice, when you're feeling really low, when you're feeling really drained, and it's that soul-sucking sense of being drained, it is really, really hard to motivate yourself. Even if you know you'll feel better doing practice, it's really hard to motivate yourself, especially to go out to class, which is where kind of like online at-home videos are perfect. So I thought I would show up. This is how I do my morning practice. I'm kind of in my pajamas. This is my yoga room where I do my videos. And I want to show you that we can show up as perfectly imperfect, you know, and that is one of the beauties of practice, is that it can help us change our energy. Because here's the thing I know for a fact, unless we do something different, we're not going to feel different. So as hard as it is when you're feeling, and say, when I feel like that, I just don't want to do anything. I just want to go to bed, pull the covers up and not come out until spring. But we can't do that. We can't do that. So if we want to feel different, we need to do something different. We need to move differently. And this is where I love Kundalini Yoga practices, because a lot of the Kriyas don't involve as much kind of moving around. So they don't feel as physically challenging, yet they change our energy. So the reason I said if you have any Palo Santo handy, grab it, is because we want to start changing our whole being. Now, Palo Santo, along with sage, has been used for centuries as a means of shifting and clearing our energy. Because say when we feel low and depressed, our energy is like thick, sludgy, heavy. It's very, can't be bothered. And you know, it's kind of like the weather outside is mirroring how we feel is mirroring how we feel outside. And, you know, so we need to start changing. So if you don't have any Palo Santo or any sage, don't worry, you can just imagine wafting it around you. So I like Palo Santo purely because, well, one, because of the smell, and because it's less likely to set fire to things. I love my sage, but bits do drop off. So with the Palo, it tends not to drop off. So once you've got it lit, you want to take your socks off, okay? So because we have energy centers in our feet. I mean, I love the smell as well. I love the smell. So I want you to imagine, so if you haven't got any, just imagine. Remember, your imagination is very, very powerful. Imagine just clearing away, using the smoke to clear away that sludgy, heavy, I can't be bothered energy. And you can feel it. You can feel the warmth. You can feel it. Breathe deeply. You can feel a sense of gratitude for your body as you're doing this, but a sense of gratitude for your inner sight as you waft it over your third eye, for your sacred voice as you move it outside your throat, for the messages of your heart as you waft it across your heart space. You're breathing deeply, thanking your hands, your arms for everything that they've allowed you to do, for all the loved ones that you've hugged. You know, thank your legs for the journey that it's brought you on. You may be feeling a bit shitty right this moment, but it's temporary. It's not going to last. Just like the weather won't last, the rubbish weather won't last, neither will these feelings. Make sure you put your Palo Santo somewhere safe. Once we've done that, and we're going to start off standing. So yes, here I am today in my kind of pajamas, just showing up as I've just done my practice, okay? As I've literally just done my practice. So feet just outside hips. Soften or close your eyes and just notice how you feel. You might notice a subtle shift already just from cleansing your energy a little bit. Remember, as long as we're moving a step in the right direction, we might need to take a few steps, But as long as we're moving a step in the right direction, so if we don't do anything, and I do the same, I kind of just want to go, oh, and I just end up in a heap, and then I feel miserable because I've not done anything. I feel like I've wasted the day, and I just end up going round in a circle because then I beat myself up because I don't feel like doing anything. The more I beat myself up, the less energy I have, and so on and so on and so on. So a step in the right direction, okay? Celebrate the fact that you're here, that you've actually taken this step to get your mat out or get on your mat. And just check in, because sometimes just even standing up, because we tend to hunching on ourselves, rounding on ourselves, so even just kind of like standing up can sometimes feel a real effort, right? When you're feeling really low, that can feel an effort in itself. So celebrate that fact. Notice how you're feeling and say to yourself, I accept that this is how I feel right now. Which might think, well, I don't want to feel that way. I never said that. I'm just saying, accept this is how you feel right now. Because when we try and resist it, when we go, oh, I don't want to feel like this, then we add more. We add more to how we're feeling. So we add guilt and shame and resentment. If you just say, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. I accept this is how I'm feeling right now. I feel shit right now, but I accept it. But the right now is a reminder that it's not forever. It's only temporary. And once you remind yourself that it's only temporary, it takes some of the strain away. So I accept this is how I feel right now, physically, emotionally, energetically. This is how I feel right now. And as you say that, notice you might feel slightly better. Even again, if it's just a small amount, a small step in the right direction. You're letting go of resentment, you're letting go of resistance. You're just saying, okay, yeah, I accept it. I feel crap, but it's only temporary. And just taking a few deep breaths. And sigh it out. And make any sound that feels appropriate. Again, breathe in. And out. And gently opening the eyes. And we're going to start off with a very simple exercise called the miracle bend. It's a forward and backward bend. So you can keep your feet about hip width. You can inhale, reach the arms out. Now start to feel a stretch in the front of the body. And as you exhale, bend the knees and just fold forward into a forward bend, feeling a stretch in the back of the body. And that's all we're going to do for the next kind of minute. We're going to inhale as you come up, stretching the fingertips up. Either you can lift your eye gaze, feel a bit of a stretch in the front of the body. And you're going to exhale all the way down into a forward bend, stretching the back of the body. So we're just kind of getting the body moving. So if you're in a state of stasis, you haven't moved, you've just felt and you can't bother to move. So we're just literally starting a little bit of movement. So if you're like me, when you're feeling really low, your energy is really low, and the thought of doing anything too physical is just like enough to put you off even getting on your mat. So knowing that we're just going to move gently, but it's going to make you feel better. Going to make you feel better. Coming into a forward bend releases some of that tension when we kind of like hunch up and tighten up. Everything gets all tight and knotty. So we're just starting to release that. Next time you come forward, we're going to hang out here. The next time you come forward, we're just going to hang here. You're going to hold on to opposite elbows. If your back is really tight, your hamstring's really tight, you can take the feet wider. You can bend the knees even more. You're just going to breathe in fully, deeply, completely. Pause for 3 or 4 seconds. And then exhale on a deep sigh, feeling your upper body stretch out. So again, you're stretching out your spine. You're getting fresh supply of blood to your head and neck. You're stretching out the whole of the back of the body. So gravity is stretching out the spine. So you're trying to get rid of that tension, being hunched up, being tight and tense. Full breath in, rib cage expand. Pause, hold the breath. Then let it go. Now, one more. You'll notice, hopefully, you feel yourself stretch even more on each exhale. You'll feel your upper body
super heavy, starting to release tightness, tension, because our emotions show up in our body as well. So those emotions of sadness, of, frustration, whatever it is you're feeling, that will show up in your body. Then release your arms, bend your knees even more, and start to roll up through the spine, keeping the arms heavy, head heavy. And just literally starting to roll yourself up. Coming all the way up. And the head comes up last. This is why I don't wear things with hoods when I'm teaching or practicing, because you end up wearing the hood. So just again, stay with the feet hip width apart. Extend your thumbs so your thumbs are kind of pointing in towards each other. And you're just going to swing the arms. One arm up, one arm back behind you. Breathing in and out. And in and out. So just nice loose swings, keeping the thumbs pointing towards each other, keeping the knees slightly bent. And again, this just helps to get the blood flowing around the body. So when you feel sluggish, we want to get things flowing again, right? We want to get everything flowing. So think about energy as like a river. When there's a block in the river, when there's lots of weeds, etc., the water can't flow very well. And that's like our energy. So when we feel sluggish, that's what's going on. So we want to free up the energy a little bit, to get it flowing with greater ease. There, relax the arms. Notice how that feels. You might feel a bit more energy flowing down your chest, down your arms. And just take the weight onto one foot. You can use the wall if you need to. Shake out the toes. Shake out all the bones in that foot. So use the wall if you need to, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly. Shake out the calf muscle. Shake out the knee joint. Shake out the thigh. Shake out the whole leg. Then stomp it down, really stomp it down, really get angry. It's like, I don't want to feel this way. I want to feel good. I want to feel energized. Release. Notice how that leg feels compared to the other side. You might notice it feels lighter. Right now this leg feels like lead. This leg feels a little bit lighter. So let's even it up. So shake out the foot and toes. Shake out the calf muscle. Shake out the knee. Shake out the thigh. Give it a good stomp like a child having a tantrum. Lots of acupressure points in the foot as well. Get the energy flowing back up the legs. Release. And with a light fist, tap up the inside, down the outside. And just getting the energy flowing in the body. Next time you come up the inside, and then come across the chest, and just, you can do sound effects as well if you wish. The other side, up the inside, down the outside. Then this time when you get to the top, working along the top and side of the neck. Again, keep your wrist relaxed. Both shoulders. Working the other side. And just working down the side of the ribs. Go nice and gently, because there is a point down there called jumping hoops that will kind of make you go, oh. There we go, down the outside and up the inside. And down the outside, up the inside. Then when you get down the bottom this time, come up the backs of the legs. And then just working your lower back. And you can do a bit of sound effects if you wish. And release, noticing how that feels. And come down into a rock pose, which is basically kneeling with your butt on your heels. If you can't manage that, you can come into a seated position. Now I put a cushion between my heels and my butt, so I can rest my heels on the butt. Bring the hands on the thighs. You can do a spine flex, which helps to activate the whole of the nervous system. So we inhale, draw the heart forward. Exhale, round. Now the head stays in neutral, so it will move, but you're not lifting it up like that. You're keeping it in neutral. Inhale forward, exhale round. Breathing in and out, in and out. As you do that, try and focus on the tip of your nose. So we're breathing in and out through the nose here. So it starts to kind of become a breath of fire, which is great for energizing, burning away those kind of negative feelings. Because we kind of get, as I say, we get stuck in a loop. You know, we feel sluggish and lethargic. We don't want to do anything. And because we're not doing anything, because we're not moving, our energy becomes even more sluggish. And we beat ourselves up because we're wasting a day and this, that, and the other. And so it just ends up feeling rubbish, mentally, physically. Three, two, one, and relax for a second or two. And just noticing how you feel after that. Then we're going to bring in the breath of fire. Then after a while, you're going to try and bring in the spine flex with the breath of fire. Try not to overthink it, and you'll find a natural rhythm. So just beginning the breath of fire. You're feeling that pumping in the belly. Keep your shoulders relaxed and just feel that pumping, feel that energy. Imagine that fire starting to burn away any of that sluggishness, any of that, oh, I can't be bothered. Feel that inner power that you have, that we know you have within you. Remember, if you don't want to do this sitting or kneeling, you can do this sat on a chair as well, with your feet flat on the floor. Keeping the breath flowing. See if you can then bring in the spine flex. You'll find your own natural rhythm. And we're working the whole of the central nervous system here as well. I'm going to breathe in, hold the breath. And when you need to, if you haven't already, breathing all the way out. And removing the pillow, if you have a pillow there, you can add a pillow underneath your knees. You can inhale, lift up. It's like a little camel pose, but think of stretching up rather than worrying about stretching backwards. Push your hips forward slightly, lift and open through your heart. And exhale, bring the hands to the floor and let your forehead find the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't find the floor, just bow forward. So we inhale, lift and open your heart into that camel variation. Squeeze your butt, relax your shoulders. So make sure you're not tensing the shoulders. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling as we bow forward. Inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. Now you can, if you wish, start to bring in the breath of fire. Same as with the spine flex. So you can begin the breath of fire. And then when you're ready, start bringing in the movement. People tend to think when you bring breath of fire into movement that you've got to make the movement really fast, but you don't. That's why it's better to bring it, or I find it better anyway, I should say, to bring in the breath and then bring in the movement. You may find it better to do it the other way. You may find it easier to bring the movement in first and then begin the breath of fire. See what works for you. But it's almost like the breath of fire amplifies anything that you're doing. So whatever you're doing is good. When you bring in the breath of fire, it becomes excellent. If you're no good kneeling, you can sit on a chair, lift and open your heart, and bow forward over your legs. So you can always change it, lifting and opening your heart. Exhale, bow over your legs. In a minute, you're going to inhale, hold the breath. When I said a minute, I don't mean a full minute. Hold it. And exhale. Let's just say in a moment, not in a minute. And release. And bring yourself into a sitting position. So if you're on a chair, if you're sat on a chair, just stay where you are. If not, come into a sitting position. We're going to do a little bit of EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique tapping. So basically, so the meridian points around the body. So I start off with a karate chop point, tapping there. You can do either side, doesn't really matter. I tend to use 2 or 3 fingers. And then we go to the center of your head, crown of your head. Then we come to the inside edge, so where your eyebrow ends, kind of around there. Then the outside of your eye. Now you'll feel the occipital ridge, so the bony bit, it's just to the side of there. So it's not on the bony bit, it's just to the side. And then underneath the eye, again, not on the bony bit, just underneath. So if you kind of like practice it first, find where the bony bit is, and it's just underneath. Then we do under the nose, so that Cupid's bow. Then under the chin. So again, there's a little kind of indentation here. So you've got your lip, got your chin, so you've got that little indentation. So it's in there. And then we come to where your collarbones are. It's just kind of inside. But the thing is, with tapping, it doesn't matter if you're not absolutely precise, kind of in the general direction. And then I sometimes do heart as well, which is just below. So you've got your sternum there, and it's just kind of below that point. People tend to think it's here, but it's just below the sternum. So just kind of like here, just below the chest rather than here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off tapping. So either side, doesn't really matter. And as you tap, you're going to breathe in and breathe out. And then I'm going to speak, and you're going to fill in the gaps. Even though I feel, and however you're feeling. So even though I feel like shit, whatever comes to mind, I love and accept myself unconditionally. And moving to the crown of your head, even though I feel, and you may have a different word come up this time, and that's okay. Whatever comes to mind is perfect. I love and accept myself unconditionally. Then 2, again, the inside of where your eyebrow is, around about there. Again, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. So don't try and force a word. So if a different word comes out each time, that's okay. Just let it. To the side of the eye, even though I feel grumpy, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Below the eye, even though I feel unmotivated, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Below the nose, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. So kind of allow a word to pop into your mind rather than trying to force it. Below or just above your chin, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Collarbones, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. And just below the sternum, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Starting again, even though I feel, I love and accept myself unconditionally. And think of how you feel, and that makes me feel. So however you feel, that makes you feel. So if I feel tired, that makes me feel pissed off. Inner eye. And that makes me feel, again, it may be something different that comes to mind. Side of the eye. And that makes me feel. If it is the same thing, don't worry. Just whatever comes to mind is perfect. Below the eye, and that makes me feel. You want to focus on how you feel makes you feel. That makes sense. Just below the nose. So if you feel depressed, that might make you feel pissed off, angry, guilty, ashamed, all those kind of things. So we're working with those. Above the chin, and that makes me feel. Collarbones, and that makes me feel. Sternum, and that makes me feel. Going back to the karate point, I accept how I feel right now. Top of the head, I accept how I feel right now. Remember, the right now reminds you it's not forever. Inner eye, I accept how I feel right now. Side of the eye, I accept how I feel right now. Below the eye, I accept how I feel right now. Below the nose, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Chin, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Collarbones, I love and accept myself unconditionally. Sternum, I love and accept myself unconditionally.
Karate chop, I allow my energy to flow freely. Turn of the head, I allow my energy to flow freely. Corner of the eye, because I deserve to feel good. Outside of the eye, I deserve to feel in the gap, energized, amazing, peaceful. Under the eye, I deserve to feel under the nose, I deserve to feel chin, I am open to feeling energized. Collarbones, I am open to feeling inspired. Sternum, I am open to feeling wonderful. You can release it there. You can repeat it. You can repeat the sequence as many times as you wish, or you can just simply notice how you're feeling. Again, even if it's a slight improvement, and sometimes you notice a slight improvement, you want to keep doing it. So you can keep doing it. You can keep doing it as many times as you wish. So you can rewind a little bit and do it again, or you can do the last exercise with me, which is the elbows tucked in and pull back, palms upwards. You breathe in as you pull the elbows back. You breathe out as we cross the arms. I'm like superhero. Inhale as you pull back, exhale as you cross. Try and switch the cross of the arms. This helps to open up our heart energy. So we're going to let all that lovely energy, all that love and acceptance that we just brought to the fore, we can bring it out, we can expand it. So really pull the elbows back as you inhale. Three, two, one, and release. Rub your palms together. As you're doing that, think of someone, doesn't matter if they're animal, human, whatever, that you love. It doesn't matter if they're still on the physical realm or not. Just think of love. Think how you feel. You know, I always bring to mind my animals. Think of that love. Feel that energy. Feel that energy in you. When you feel that warmth and energy, place it over your heart space. And imagine that energy flowing through your heart space into your body. And release the hands, rest the hands, notice how you feel right now. Hopefully feel a little bit lighter, brighter, and again, don't beat yourself up. You know, it's normal to feel a bit, especially with stuff going on in the world, you know, and we tend to give ourselves a hard time, what I do as well, you know, give ourselves a hard time because we just don't feel like doing anything. It's like, oh, I've wasted time and blah, 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 which again, just drags you down. I always liken it to having a backpack. Okay, you imagine you got your backpack and you feel low on energy, low on mood. That's heavy enough as it is. When you start to add in guilt and frustration and you're beating yourself up and So, oh, I should be doing this and blah, 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 blah. It gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and you just make yourself feel worse and worse and worse. And it's like being in quicksand, you know, the more you struggle, in fact, that's a perfect analogy, the more you struggle against it, the more you're sucked in. Whereas if you kind of, okay, yeah, that's how I feel right now, you know, okay, I'll let it go, I'll accept it. You're then more able to start lifting yourself out of it, which sounds counterintuitive because it's like, well, I don't want to accept how I feel right now. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm just saying when you accept it, you stop fighting it, you stop resisting it, and that allows the quicksand just to release its grip, that you can start to lift yourself out of it. So please let me know how you've got on. Let me know if you did it, practice in your pajamas and in all your imperfectly perfect glory. And thank you. I hope it helps you as it helps me. Namaste. And it's still raining.